Welcome guys, I'm HOJ, and today in our video I'll be going ahead and playing more of the mono white Lifegain deck and trying to see if we can break into Mythic. Currently at Diamond rank 2, I'll go first over any deck updates, then we'll do 5 best of 1 standard rank ladder matches, and then at the end I'll just kind of do a wrap up and go over what works and some of the win rate percentages. In the video description, you're going to see a link for this playlist, as well as playlists for other decks that I've created. In addition, there'll be a full deck list, as well as win rate percentages on moxfield.com and untap.gg. And then in addition, there's a link if you would like to subscribe. Okay, so jumping in from yesterday, no changes to the deck. It's really working. I like it where it's at currently. 23 land. And all the cards here from yesterday's video. I think the Kutzil's flankers are just doing an amazing job dealing with Sultai Reanimator. It's also good against Is It Cauldron. Very happy with this addition to the deck. And then also adding back in the Healer's Hawks from earlier versions. I think just having the initial kind of lots of one-drop targets really helps Haliya Guided by Light become active on turn 2 where you get the extra card draw. So really liking where it's at. Let's go ahead and jump in. Opening hand looks good. We've got mana, we have stuff to do. Don't have any 1-drops, but we are on the draw, so it's possible we draw into something. I think we have, I want to say 14 1-drops in the deck or something close to that. So decent chance we'll draw one. Okay, so it looks like our opponent is probably playing Dimir midrange. We have no 1-drops, so we'll go ahead and lead out with the Encampment. It is possible they're playing a different deck, but initially thinking Dimir midrange. They don't run a ton of counters, so if they hold up mana here, not super worried, it's probably just removal, which we'd have to fight through anyways. Okay, so I guess this is a different deck. Another version of Reanimator. Okay, and Kutzil's flanker will be great here. So just want to make sure that we hold up 3 mana next turn in case they have the turn 4 reanimation target. Since we have a backup flanker, we can also just get rid of their yard if we need to. We'll wait for this to happen. I guess we could have done it like beforehand, but then they'd get a chance to look. So now that we know he has the Kavero, we can also just wait a turn if we want. And wait for him to actually commit with the Kavero. Could also play one now since we have 2. They might not be expecting a second one here, so we could just kind of go for the flanker block here and get rid of the yard. Since we don't have much else going on, I kind of like that play. Maybe it's better just to wait around, but and then I guess we could just take the 2 here and then just push back. I suppose he has a 4/4, so this isn't doing much after he plays it. But I guess we can race for now. Question is, do we want to kill this fear of missing out? Not necessarily, because he could just like use this as a target for it, so maybe we just race for a little bit. Yeah, I guess we could have just blocked there. I kind of want to turn to sort of set up before he can sort of go off. So I think we want to get Exemplar of Light going. And then I'm just going to pass. So I think we want to have 5 mana up here. We can go Sheltered by Ghosts and get rid of his Kavero if we want. Or just get rid of this Overlord. Yeah, I think we just ignore the Kavero on the ground and take out the Overlord here. Although I guess if he has removal for it, like, him getting this back into play is kind of annoying. So maybe it is better to take the Kavero, since it doesn't do anything right now, since there's no graveyard. Yeah, maybe we just take the Kavero. We've got a couple turns. Yeah, and I think he needs a little more for his setup so we can just get Pridemate going. I don't think we have to hold up flanker this turn. Yeah, he's just going to call it. Okay, 1-0. I haven't seen the Grixis version of Reanimator, but it makes sense that there'd be a Grixis version. I haven't really been seeing that much aggro. Maybe like the occasional mono red deck here and there or Boros, but not much else. Opening hand looks really good. Okay, and I guess there's mono red. All right, we'll start off with Case of the Uneaten Feast. And then I think next turn we go for Ajani, just because it makes them commit Lightning Strike and it plays around Burst Lightning. I guess they can do it as a response, so it's not. Maybe they can respond to it now. I wonder if it would have been better in that case to go like Sanctifier plus Hawk. Yeah, maybe that would have been better. Definitely like with 2, I suppose if they had the red mana up, it would have been better to do that for sure. Channeler is nice to be able to put counters on the Sanctifier if we need to, but it can't block super well and it still dies to Burst Lightning. So maybe we just go for Pridemate here. I suppose, yeah, they could have used Lightning Strike on Channeler, but Pridemate is a little too big now with 4 toughness. And I think we just walk into this one. Unfortunately, we might just lose this to a Burst Lightning or whatever, but just getting more of that stuff out of their hand is always good. And that'll still make our Pridemate a 6/6. Yeah, there's the Burst Lightning. And then I assume they use Firebrand here to get rid of our Hawk, but we can start the clock a little bit. So they probably block with Firebrand, kill Hawk. Oh, never mind. Now they use Firebrand on Nemesis. That's pretty good. So at least we have an 8/8. And now I suppose we can hold Flanker to use in response to the Firebrand so we can get one more burst of life. I guess the other thing is they could use Nemesis to kill the Pridemate, which obviously isn't great. It's better than if they throw it at our face, but then they have a decent attack back. I guess we have Flanker coming, so we can probably still push here. Now we're giving them the option, but I think at 18 we don't want to just like sit here and let them develop. Okay, let's do this in response. And that is a nice pickup. Question is, do we want the Hawk? I don't think we want the Hawk anymore since we're going to get life turned off, but Sheltered by Ghosts will still be good. I guess on the one hand, that does give them a clean kill on the Pridemate, and maybe it would have been better to like not attack and just attack with the Hawk and try to force it, but I'm not sure. So we could wait to Shelter by Ghosts. They're 4/5 if they get enough mana. We could also do it on the Sanctifier to get rid of the Scalding Viper and then push for 3 here, hoping that they don't draw enough to get there. I'm not really sure if we should save it or not, but there's a decent chance that we can't close the game out until they draw their 5th land. So maybe we hold it for the Hellkite. The problem is they've probably got like removal as well, which is rough. So getting damage in now does feel pretty good. I think I'm going to go for it and just hope we draw well. Yeah, so I might have mishandled the interaction with the Screaming Nemesis. I think I probably misplayed there. It's going to be a closer game than I want it to be. And now we kind of need to top deck to get out of this. So if they draw land, we just lose. If they don't draw land, guess we can like block, take. I think we're just unfortunately probably just dead at this point. Yeah, I think I threw this game unfortunately. If we push and they block, they get back their Viper. And the 3rd Hellkite will also do it. Okay. Yeah, so that was a mistake earlier on. I should have been a little bit more careful. I think maybe we just attack with like the 1/1 flyer in that place and not attack with the Ajani. Or the Pridemate. Okay, opening hand looks really good. Okay, glad we picked up the plains because now we can go untap mana for both first 2 turns. See if they've got the Burst Lightning. Okay, and I think now we definitely want to do Pridemate since it's harder to kill. Whew, Sheltered by Ghosts is pretty good. Yeah, that's a beating. And they do also have the Burst Lightning ready for our Channeler here. So I'm not sure if we're supposed to play the Channeler this turn. I guess they could probably hold it up next turn also, so we just kind of have to, I think, eat through it. We could have also just go like double Sanctifier here and just try to set up for it. That might be better because it feels like they definitely have the Burst Lightning here. And maybe we can just get them to use it on this or something else. Not sure if this is correct, but trying to sort of bait them out. Yeah, I guess now they have access to like Lightning Strike also, so maybe we should have just gone for it. I don't know. Or maybe they just have like another Sheltered by Ghosts. That was an odd thing to do before combat, or sorry, after combat. They could have gotten extra 2 points in. All right, so now we can use Fountainport to give this thing Flying and Vigilance and get some more counters on it. Yeah, so I think maybe we should have just like gone for the Channeler earlier and just like hope they didn't have the Burst Lightning instead of like opening ourselves up to potentially more removal. Could use Sheltered by Ghosts here, but we don't really need to. Actually, I guess if we use Sheltered by Ghosts on their Sheltered by Ghosts, we can get like a big Pridemate. But again, we don't really need to here. I think we just attack with these two and just wait a turn. Because it doesn't end the game any faster. Sure. That is not going to do it. So do we have enough to do all of it? We need 4 mana to give it Vigilance, then we need an extra 4. I think we're 1 mana short. Well, that's too bad. So give us a nice chunk of life, though, which is still pretty good. I guess there's force blocks on it anyways. Maybe we just hold this. And let's draw a card. Okay, that's gonna do it. 2 and 1. Yeah, in general, just try to hold the Sheltered by Ghosts as long as you possibly can. Ideally, you want to play it like the turn you win the game. But it's nice that we're seeing more mono red. I'm just trying to get I don't have that many games against mono red, so good to get more experience. Opening hand looks great. Unfortunately, we've got this encampment, so I think we just play that first here. We could try to natural draw, but I think I'm okay just slowing things down a little bit. We're going to want to have this thing active anyways. Okay, we would have natural drawed, so I wonder if it would have been better to go for the plains, and then we could have had a faster start. Let's just get Pridemate. I think the best use of our mana is Pridemate here, and then just set up for this plus Channeler next turn. And I think we're just racing here. They're going to get to this pretty quickly, but they don't have that much mana. And then we can use Shelter by Ghost to try to catch up. That was a nice pickup. Okay, so with Healer's Hawk, we'll have double trigger this turn. So I think we put the Sheltered by Ghosts on the Channeler, since it's going to have 3 toughness, and they won't... Actually, I suppose if they draw a land, they could go like Lightning Strike plus 2 mana. Wait, it's going to have 4 toughness. Yeah, so we're okay. And we also solve our case, which is great. Okay, I did not think of Scorching Shot, so maybe, well, either way, it would have killed our Pridemate, so. Yep, there it is. And let's put this on the Healer's Hawk. So I assume they get in for 2 here, or they're just gonna call it. Yep, that works too. 3 and 1. Okay, opening hand looks good. We've got stuff to do. And we're actually first for a change, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, let's lead out with the encampment. Okay, this, I believe, is actually Dimir mid-range. So we could get Channeler out. But because these both trigger, like when they attack, I think we just go for double bat, or Hawk plus bat. That way if we can land the Channeler next turn, we should be able to get it going. And they probably just have removal here, but we kind of have to deal with it. I don't think they run too many counters. Maybe like a couple 3 steps ahead. Okay, sure. Whatever. Yeah, that's a good one. Do we want that or try to fish for land? I think it's like we just want to keep threats coming, so if they have a lot of removal, it'll be good to have. Even though like it doesn't give us 4 mana for this. I think we want Channeler. Channeler's a little bit better for us, so we're going to try to smoke out some more removal here with Pridemate. Yeah, and there it is. Okay, we do want that land. Especially if they tap out. Okay, I think we still try to slow roll this Exemplar because they still have a decently full hand. We'll go for the Channeler this time. Plus, if they have like Phantom Interference, we can play around it. I think they might run like 1 copy. Third time's a charm. Nope. What have they got? Okay, yeah, they had more removal, sure. All of the removal. All right, we're going for it. Can we land a creature? For 1 turn. 1 turn. Nope. Okay. Sure. Lots of fun. So they can use double removal to get this, but that's fine. Oh, I forgot we have to actually attack to get the card draw. God, that's annoying. I think it's worth it because this is so bad against this. I think we do actually... I suppose if they attack us, we can attack back for 3. Yeah, I think we just have to attack now, unfortunately. I forgot that this didn't just... I was thinking this was like a Hinterland Sanctifier. So it will take both pieces of removal. Or not. They just have infinite removal. Okay. I mean, infinite removal plus Meringue is pretty good. They can start getting in with like this Restless Reef. Yeah. They could close out the game here pretty quick. And it's unfortunate because this Shelter by Ghost doesn't really do anything since we know they have the nowhere to run. Okay, and that's going to do it, because then they can just use Restless Reef and swing for 15 or 16. Yeah. That was pretty rough. Okay. So, ended up going 3-2. I'm not sure if we could have like sequenced this game better. I think it just sort of played out as the removal. They just had all the removal. But let's take a look at the overall stats. All right, currently at 54% win rate overall, 67% win rate on the play, and 43% on the draw. 55 wins and 47 losses. So yeah, there's definitely some matches here that are a little bit better than others. Mono red looking pretty good. Mono green looking good. Dimir is looking good. However, that last one's pretty brutal. But most of the Dimir mid-range is a little bit kind of a different setup with cards. That was kind of more of a controlling Dimir game. So would I make any changes to the deck? I don't think so. Not right now. I need a little bit more kind of information before making a switch. Again, I really like the flankers. Like between the match against Reanimator today and the two yesterday, like they were just utterly punishing. And it just seems like a really good card right now. So depends on how much like is it Cauldron you end up seeing. But it's feeling good. So I like it as is. And again, thank you guys for watching. If you do like this content and you want to see more of it, please consider subscribing. I am trying to make a decent number of videos coming out on a regular basis. Again, I really appreciate you guys, and we'll see you in the next one.